Hi, I'm Belinda Fenty.
And I'm Pauline Nakiria.
Welcome to Let's React podcast, the podcast that amplifies the voices of artists from underrepresented backgrounds in the UK and beyond.
Yeah, we'll share our experiences, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. From addressing underrepresentation
to celebrating diverse, rich stories.
Join us on this journey as we react to the world around us and inspire change in the industry.
Hello and welcome back to Let's React. I'm Belinda Fenty alongside co-host Pauline Nakiria. And we have a very special guest for you today. I'm really excited because this is actually a personal friend of mine and she has the biggest heart. She's so beautiful and so talented and so driven and has accomplished incredible things, which I can't wait to discuss a bit later in the show. Welcome, Kyla Frye.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, you gorgeous individuals. We appreciate you. Thank you.
I cannot not do that. Hey, Kyla.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. We give thanks for a new day, a new year. You know, we're here. We're doing it.
Totally. 2024. Do you have a particular mission for 2024?
Stay alive, stay sane, stay blessed, I think.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
I think covers all my bases. Yeah.
Like that. There's no really hidden expectations. Just that's it. That's just focus on that. Everything else.
That's it. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time.
I like that though. I like that. That's very focused. I've got like a million things, but that's...
Oh, I do. I just try not to think about them.
Okay,
because otherwise they will overwhelm me.
Yeah.
I don't know where to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what I'm doing. La, 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 la. So let's
exactly
say take each day as they come.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. I won't go into details because we went into that last ep, but I just have one word for the year, so which is flowing. That's it. Yeah.
Exactly. Water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you say, if you list them all, sometimes it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Kyla, tell us about yourself.
About myself. Well, I am an actress, filmmaker, mother, wife, friend, lover to all things and all people. I'm just here doing bits and moves.
It's amazing. See, this is one introduction, but there could have been another one because you've also designed clothing. I remember.
Yes,
you've missed out. Fashion designer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is
wow.
true. It's true. I have the I Love Love range. I'm not wearing it today. I thought about wearing it, and I thought I wore it for my last podcast. So I'm wearing it today.
What?
So
it makes me wonder. Yeah, isn't it? It makes me wonder what other hidden things Kyla has that she's just neglecting.
There are fingers in pies. We'll see how we get on. You know, the year is still young.
So tell us, how did your journey into acting begin and what's kept you on that path?
So once upon a time, no. Many moons ago, I think I've always been a born performer, to be honest. I've always loved music, dance, theatre from very, very young. And I think it's something that I guess my parents saw in me, because they had me going and doing various sort of like child auditions from as early as 2 years old. So kind of getting my taste for things then, but really and truly it wasn't until I guess primary school that I realized, hold on a minute, this effect that I have or that one has over an audience and performing and being on stage and that whole energy, you know, that the osmosis effect of sorts. I want more of that. I love that. I like that. It makes me feel alive. And I just kind of pursued it from there on out, I guess, through various sort of like theatre schools or musical theatre workshops, and then joined the youth theatre at Theatre Royal Stratford East, and then joined Identity Drama School when I was 17. And yeah, it just kind of gone on from there, really.
Can you remember one of the first times where you realised that the audience loved what you were doing?
Well, yes. So going back to being in primary school, there was a musical production they were going to put on called The Adventures of Bobo Peep. And so I thought I'd audition because, you know, loving all of this sort of stuff. And I remember I sang The Little Mermaid's part of that world. And I remember the whole assembly hall falling silent, like pin drop silent. And then I finished singing, and then the whole room just erupted, like mad applause. And it was very crazy to me because that had never happened before. But I remember thinking, I love this.
Yeah.
Wherever this is, whatever I've done, I want to do it again. I want to feel this again. I want to make this happen. This is extraordinary. It made me feel alive. It made me feel like, I don't know, like I found my calling of sorts. And it's kind of strange to say when you're like, I don't know, 8, 9 years old or whatever it could be. But it was, for sure, it was then. And I was just like, that's it. This is me, really.
See, that sounds like pure magic.
Yeah.
It was. You know, like when we talk about energy, because everything is energy, right? But you feel a certain, I don't know, I felt grounded. At the same time as everything that was going on, I felt really sort of grounded and rooted in the performance, I guess, and in my own world, part of it. No pun intended. But yeah, it felt real. It felt magical. But as you said, it was something that I felt like I wanted to recreate for the rest of my days. And I think I've been on that pursuit ever since.
Amazing.
Ooh, goosebumps.
That's really cool.
Mm.
So when you were doing this song, like what made you choose this particular song? Like when you went into it, were you like, do you know, I know exactly what I want to sing?
I mean, so it's the 1989 Disney classic, first and foremost, right? I'm born in 87, so you can do your math and find out how old I am. But it was, I'm sure there are other actresses or other women at that time that identify very strongly with that movie, with those songs. And I think it was a song that I had always sung at home with my parents and my grandparents and my sister and whatnot. But it was also one that I remember rehearsing a lot with my dad. Like with my dad, we would practice and sing, you know, Heal the World by Michael Jackson or various other Disney songs or whatever songs that he was learning and performing for his own shows and whatever. So that one part of that world was definitely like my song. And I knew that if there was anything that I could do well, I guess, it would be that. And so I did. Yeah, I guess the rest is history in that aspect.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And I love the image of you singing with your dad.
Yeah. It's like, you know, sitting by the old like music system, you know, like you had the record player on top, then you had like the cassette, that double cassette. Then you had all the records slotted at the bottom, and then you had the radio. So we had that big one, you know, with the glass front, the magnet closure. So I remember sitting on the floor there, and we would like, you know, we would record me on one tape, and we'd have, you know, Michael Jackson, Heal the World playing on the other, and we stop, start. Wow. So I'm sure probably my dad might have had old tapes of like me singing or singing with him or singing with my sister or whatnot. But there's some really early memories. Really early memories.
Wow.
Speaking of your dad, would you say that he influenced you like that side of performing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my dad, he was part of a vocal quartet group himself. The group was called the Southlanders, and they were the longest running male vocal group in the Caribbean, in the West Indies. So very similar to the Temptations or the Four Tops, that type of thing. And so from a very, very young age, I was used to seeing him perform or going to travel, whether that was in Europe or whether that was in the Caribbean on cruises or wherever. So like the idea of being a performer or being an artist was something that was very real and very tangible for me from inception, you know? And I think knowing to some degree that it's possible to strive or to aspire to have a career in the arts, seeing that happen for him, I guess it gave me the belief in myself that it was possible for me too, at the very least, you know? And so, yeah, I have to give a lot of kind of props to my dad in terms of inspiring me in that way. And then my mum, essentially, for making sure that my sister and I, we could go to all these sort of like theatre groups or musical theatre workshops, wherever it may be, because when you're trying to do it on your own, you've got 2 young kids and you're having to pay out double fees and double costume fees and double this, double that. Yeah, it can be quite pricey trying to keep it all together, but my mum made sure that we could, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to them both, you know.
Shout out to you. Yeah, mum and dad.
Of course,
absolutely. Does your sister still perform?
No, she doesn't. And she's got like her voice.
Wow.
Oh, my sis. Ash, I love you. I love you so much. She's incredible. She is incredible. And she can sing, that girl.
Wow. Yeah. Do you think you can rope her into a cameo in one of your films?
For sure. For sure. And we're working on it. It'd be great to see her back doing her thing, man. It would.
Oh, I could see the love, you know, when she was talking about us. It's like, oh my God, just like a talent that the world is missing.
Yeah, she's got something special.
Because you said you're a mother. Now,
yes.
Talk us through juggling that side and
it's a bit insane. Because, you know, I have 3 beautiful, incredible daughters, Nafira Jo, Zoraili, Ayana May. I had 3 babies in 4 years. So intense, as you can imagine. Yeah. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. Partially because I don't know any other way, but also because they are everything. They are everything. They are, you know, a source of motivation. They are what's real. They are what's ever present. They are a reminder of my worth. They are a reminder and a focus, I guess, for me to strive forward, knowing that there is something more to life than awards, accolades, premieres, jobs that keep people alive. Raise good, wholesome people, you know, like let that happen. Let that be the main focus. And it helps. It really does help. It is a struggle at times, naturally, you know, because you are raising human beings. You are, you know, dealing with all the extremes, all the extremities of emotion and human faculties. But fortunately, I'm able to do so with an incredible husband, an incredible father to our daughters as well. So I think between the pair of us and the teamwork that we have has really done it, has kept us going, has kept us strong, you know?
Yeah. And that's nice that you have that support network.
Yeah, and it's great as well that Marcus is an actor as well. So has an understanding of our industry.
Absolutely.
Because I think it could be even more challenging if someone just doesn't get it.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I met Marcus back when I started ID, 17 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. Well, we've been together for 17 years.
Wow.
So thereabouts, you know. So for 17 years, we've been doing this. But as you said, we met at ID and we've just kind of grown together since, you know. All the jobs, all the no's, all the travels, the ups and the downs, you know, the empty bank accounts, the scrambling around for jobs, and you know, doing, you know, by hook or by crooks. But I'm so in awe of him and what he's been able to achieve and what he's still got to come. Like honestly, it's impressive. And so it's nice to be able to ride with someone who understands it, like you say, and gets it and is supportive of it and is equally encouraging. Yeah, it's amazing.
Talking about the ups and downs, you've already alluded to some of the things that keep you sane, but do you have any kind of self-care strategies for dealing with rejection that we have in acting, or just dealing with all of the craziness and the being messed around? And
there's a lot in it. There is a lot. Yeah. There is a lot. Do you know what? I don't. There's a resilience that comes from, I guess, knowing that I am not going to do anything else, in the sense that, you know, like I can produce, write or direct another film or whatever it may be. I can, you know, design, you know, like a fashion line. I can write books or what other strings to my bow, whatever it may be. But knowing that I'm always going to be an actor first and foremost is the one thing, I guess, that kind of keeps me going. Because what else am I doing? You know, like there are countless stories to be told, and there is no upper age limit as to what stories are valid. And when I think about the women and the actors whom I look up to, who I'm inspired and aspire to be like, they're all older women. They're all women that are older than me, or, you know, who have had their big breaks either at my age or later in life. And I think that's important to remember. When I think about, I think it was Viola Davis who said she didn't get Annalise Keaton until she was 42.
Yeah.
It's things like that. You think, wow, because you know, we know that like Viola was meant for that role. Like whether or not it was written for a Black woman, whether or not it was written for her is by the by, because she is Annalise Keating. You know, similarly, say the same thing for Kerry Washington and being Olivia Pope. There are certain characters and certain roles and people that just come together at the right time.
Yes.
And I think having life experience, having like done things in life adds to that. It's the reason why we are so attracted to these characters, and those characters resonate with us so deeply, because it's real and it's grounded in truth and it's grounded in life experience. So I think to myself, well, you know, I have all of this life experience to offer a particular character or a particular role, but there is so much yet to be experienced, so much knowledge and information to garner from life that's yet to be lived. So whenever those roles continue to come in, God willing, I'll be able to deliver, you know? So I think just knowing that it's not a young man's game, it's not a young person's game, it's for those that are in it for the long haul, that ultimately end up making it, ultimately end up, you know, creating the life that I guess we're all striving to create, you know? It's a game of longevity, it's a marathon. And yeah, I'll be doing it until the cows come home, whenever that may be.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Me too. That
resonates. It resonates so much as well. And we're always talking about Viola Davis because I just love her.
How can you not?
She is just such an inspiration.
Absolutely.
There's definitely been a shift in what is being made. We are seeing more interesting roles for women. Because even maybe 10, 15 years ago, there was nothing. And now there's lots of exciting.
I mean, it's one of those ones where, like, is it 355? And that's got Jessica Chastain, Nyong'o, I think. That film, I think, as you say, is very synonymous with the period that we find ourselves in. You know, we're sick of seeing, you know, full, rugged men, good-looking, action Hollywood men doing it, saving the day, woohoo, or doing all this stuff. So when you see films like that, for example, you're like, women can do it too, have been doing it too, will do it too. And that's partially even the reason why I even wrote The Payday with Sam Benjamin, you know, because I was like, why are we not seeing ourselves, you two included, reflected in this kind of work, in this genre? Because we've got it to give and we want to do it, we want to work, we want to see, you know, these high flying kick-ass women doing what it is that we do, you know. And like, why wait for it? Why wait to be validated? Why wait to be told that your stories are wanted or are deserving? You know, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let the audience speak for themselves.
100%. Your poster behind you for Payday, with Kyla at the forefront of it. It gives me life. It's like, yes. And it's fierce as well. What advice would you give to filmmakers for making something like Payday, particularly in terms of funding and financing a whole feature film, you know?
Bedouin, I swear, I don't know. I swear, it's the truth of the matter. I mean, I think essentially and fundamentally, before anything else, this film couldn't have been made without the generosity of the creatives that were also involved in the picture. All the other artists, all the other actors, the crew, everybody came together knowing that we were trying to create something different. We were trying to be the change we want to see, right? So like, how do we do that? How? We haven't got a clue. Never made a feature before. Haven't got a clue where to start. But what we basically said to everybody is that if you're willing to, you know, come on this crazy ride with us, see where it goes. We promise you, you will be rewarded at the end of it. And I think having been, you know, being so long-toothed in the industry, you end up kind of meeting kindred spirits, soul sisters, soul brothers, and you realize that we're all trying to work towards the same thing. But if you want to go somewhere fast, you go along. But if you want to go somewhere far, you go together. And I think that's I think that's what this project really was. It was a culmination of everybody bringing their talents, their skills, their patience, their love to it. And through all of that, we were able to get it done. And so we're very, very, very grateful. We're indebted to so many people involved in the project. We lent on friends, we lent on family, we begged, borrowed, we stole. No, we didn't steal. But it was, we grafted, we were, rattling piggy banks and doing whatever we could to bring it to fruition. And we're so grateful, as I said, to everyone who helped make that happen, because we couldn't have done. So if I was to be sat here, tooting my own horn about, oh yeah, we did this and it was like that. No, because it wasn't for everybody who supported us, encouraged us, even till now, and just, being so patient with us and so generous with their time and their energy and their love and their talents, it wouldn't have happened. So thank you.
Shout out to them. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, that's amazing. Because you're right. It's always that thing where it's also being careful, like who you're getting onto your team to work with, who make sure that they have the same goal, because sometimes you do end up in places where you have people who are just there for whatever reason that's not even in the right
place.
Not
aligned.
No, yeah, exactly. So that is, it's like you find your little bubble and just hold on to them.
Absolutely.
I love that. I have met a few people along the way as well in different projects I've done, and I've just been like, hi.
I want to hold on to you. Yeah. I think that's even the reason why we're here doing this, because if I hadn't met Belle back in 2016, who knows where we'd be now. So who knows? Still doing it, love.
Yeah, we're from London.
Yeah,
we met in LA.
We did.
Would you believe? Let's just because I've seen Payday. I would love our audience to know a little bit about it, because it's hilarious, and to know where they can watch it.
So you can watch the Payday on Sky Now, on Freevee, on Amazon, on Now TV, on Google, on Stars if you're in the States. Yeah, so you can pretty much catch it anywhere.
Yeah.
And I do recommend it, because I was laughing a lot, non-stop.
And my favorite scene was that one in the
lift.
left.
Spoilers.
No. Yes. I'm just saying my favorite scene, the one in the left.
I know. I know. The one
that was a cool moment. That was a cool scene. I think it's scenes like that myself and Sam Benjamin, actually, we dreamed of doing. And then when you bring our visionary director, Sam Bradford, into the mix, and he's like, oh my gosh, it reminds you of, was it Captain America? Was it the Captain America Winter Soldier? I think there's a moment in that, and I think in the Winter Soldier where there's the lift. And we're like, can we do that? Can me and Sam Benjamin go and pretend that we're superheroes in the lift? And we did it, man. It was fun. It was cool. It was proper action, man.
What was it like? Because you and Sam are friends, right? What was it like having something else going on screen?
I think it's always weird, isn't it? I think what it comes down to is that we're both the consummate professionals, darling. Of the highest degree, and that's what it comes down to. But ultimately, I love Sam Benjamin. I love Sam Bradford too. I mean, they are super cool people, super cool people, so grounded, but like they love what they do, and they're so talented, and they're really great at what they do. And I think to be fans of each other's work is super important, and I remember geeking out over seeing Sam Benjamin's writing for the first time. I didn't even know he had written it. It was we did this new writers workshop thing at the Lyric in Hammersmith. I think this was back in 2011. Yeah, I think like 2011. And I was there as one of the actors to stage one of these rehearsed reading type pieces. And he was there as far as I was concerned, just as an actor. And I remember when we came to do the actual showing of the work, and he was involved in the piece as an actor. But it turns out he'd written two of the pieces as well.
Wow.
the pieces that I love the most. And I was like, this writing is so refreshing. It's so brilliant. Who wrote it? You wrote it. Oh my gosh. And I was like, this is brilliant. I've never heard stuff like this before. And then we kind of started, connecting over the fact that we were just kind of gasbagging each other, just saying, oh, you're so cool and you're so cool and we're so cool and let's make cool stuff. And that's kind of where it started. And then he said to me, I know these cool people, they're called Praxima. They're a production company that I've done some really sort of cool commercial stuff with. Sam Bradford, he's an amazing director. Met him and it was just like, do you know what? Us three are going to be friends like forever. I just know it. And then we worked on our first project together, which was called Double Cross, which was a crime caper short, which is actually like, this is where the payday even comes from. The Jen and Jules characters even came from, but it was an 11-minute crime caper that went on to Amazon Prime back in 2015. So we were one of the first kind of independent shorts to actually be featured on Amazon at the time. And we shot that in about 12 hours in one hotel room.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we shot this 11-minute film in 12 hours.
Amazing.
We'd never made a short before. We'd never done anything like this before. We didn't have a framework or an idea as to how things should run. We just did what we do. And clearly that's how we do things. We knock it out, we get it done. And it's pretty good too.
Yeah.
It is. From there on, we just knew like we had this sort of like a, magic in a bottle type thing. And we knew we wanted to work together again. And people who'd seen Double Cross thought like they wanted to see more of that type of thing. So we were like, yeah. And we've done various projects since, like we've done like a superhero series called The Few.
Yeah, I remember that. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
There's some other projects they've done together. And then the payday came along during lockdown. And it's kind of crazy because I had given birth again back in 2020 and we were filming whilst I was still breastfeeding in 2021, so what I call my former youngest, who's now my middle child, she had just turned 1 the month before we started filming. Wow. So it was all a bit, and it was lockdown. There was all crazy stuff happening. But when you find good people, and when you find people who understand you as a person, as an individual, as a human, you can really kind of make something really cool happen. You can ride the wave because filmmaking, it's challenging. But if you know that you can ride it with cool people, then you get it done. It happens. And yeah,
sounds like you found your ride or dies.
there's a few, but Sam Benjamin and Sam Bradford are definitely two of them for sure.
What is next for you, Kyla?
Well, the world's our oyster, isn't it? We've got some things in the works that you should be able to see later on this year on the flicks of nets, and then whatever else comes between now and then. We're still auditioning, we're still writing, and hopefully we'll be shooting some stuff later on this year. But keep your eyes peeled. And the thing, what's great about the work and the industry that we're in is that things don't happen quickly, but they do happen suddenly. Yes. And so we could be out here waiting forever for that call, that job, that something. But then in a heartbeat, you're like, oh, I've got to fly to Spain. What now? Who's going to look after the kids? Okay, we'll do it up there. And before you know it, you're a supporting lead in this new series that's going to be, on HBO Max come this time. You're like, how did that happen? And, you're sitting there talking to Kelly Clarkson, like, I don't know what this is all about. But, it's so wild that our industry can take us to all these different places. And so that's what's exciting. It's, when I say watch this space, I say that only because we don't know.
Yes, exactly. Anything.
When you think about even like, the auditions that you've gone up for, that people don't know that you've gone up for. And you're like, oh, well, why don't you just do this? Or why don't you just try that? If only you knew, bruv. But like, when the time is right, and when everything, becomes aligned and to one accord and God's hand is at work for you, it will happen and you'll see.
Completely. Are there any jobs that you auditioned for that you wanted at the time, but then after the fact and you didn't get it, you realised that actually it's good that I didn't get that?
Yeah, I guess there was a job that I booked, I think 2 years ago now. And I booked it, and it was like for this huge feature film And it was based on true life events, right? About an exorcism that had taken place. It was the first televised exorcism in the States. And I was playing a real life character, a depiction of this real life character in this true story. And I booked it and it was amazing. I was like, oh, it's the first time you'd be hearing me as doing the American accent. As I said, big film, producers, everyone attached to it. Those sort of game-changing ones, or we think.
Yeah.
And booked it, was all there kind of good to go. It was going to be flown off to, I don't know, is it Serbia or somewhere or other. And then we got the call saying that it wasn't going to happen. You're like, huh? You've been signed, this and the other. Yeah, it's not going to happen anymore because, someone didn't agree to their rights being used. And so they're having to rewrite the script and da-da-da-da-da. So it didn't happen. And you're like, what? And then you find out more about the film in the sense that after the exorcism, in real life, after the exorcism, things actually got worse for the family and la, 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 la. And you're like, okay, so I know my spirit is wide open and I know God's got me, right? So I'm like, if I was involved in this actual picture, it could be like the exorcism all over again. Because if we know about the exorcism in the 70s, there was some really wild stuff that happened. And perhaps it was just God protecting me. He was reminding me that I'm worthy. But he was reminding me that I'm talented. He's reminding me that, when the time is right, I will give you the jobs. Fortunately, I still got paid for it because I signed for it, but I didn't do the job. And I think to myself, well, you know what? God's looking out for me because we're not trying to dibble dabble with all them you don't want a duppy come and find me in my sleep. I'm not ready for it. So let's just call it what it is. Thank you for the money. Thank you for reminding me that that I'm bookable and that I'm ready to do these sort of big pictures. But ultimately, my spirit and my soul is worth protecting. So that's for sure. That's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Just can you imagine?
I don't want no real life paranormal activity happening. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely the crazy things that happen. Sometimes you just like normally you just see something and you're like, is it? Nah.
Is it? Can I believe my own eyes? I don't know.
You just
calling upon the spirits, the energies. I'm telling you, there's just everything for a reason, everything for a reason.
Yes, for sure.
Jesus Christ.
I love it. That's a classic example.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you normally deal with when you don't get a role that you really want? How do you deal with that? I know it's always like
cry a little bit. Like you've got to get out your system. It's a physiological thing. It's not because I'm weak, but my body actually can't take it. But you know what it is? I think as actors, we place so much emphasis on various roles for whatever reason. We've all come into the game, with a variety of motivations. And we're kept in the game, again, for a variety of motivations. And so I think sometimes just dealing with the fact that, okay, it's not for you, but the next one will be, whenever or the wrong one will be, because the next one might not either, But just needing to let go, because like I said, we place so much emphasis on, if I get this role, then, such and such will see me, this casting director will see me, then they'll put me in this project, and then this project will lead to this project, and then before you know it, da-da! And it's not like that. The majority of us actors, when we talk about the 98% of us are not working. When I say not working, that means on that natural booked job, but we are still working. Every time we pick up an audition or a script, or even just living life, because ultimately the actor's job is to tell someone else's life story believably, and you can only do that by living your own life truthfully. So all of this is also work. It's also preparing yourself to be on set, to be on stage, to be recording, or whatever it may be, because that's who we are. You know what I mean? We as human beings in ourselves, we are our own instrument. So when we give so much of ourselves away, it is important to restore and to let whatever cathartic therapeutic processes we need to let go of those things and to shake it off. We need to allow that to happen. So if that is crying, if that is venting, if that is, you know what, I didn't care, let me rip up that script and move on to the next job anyway, because I don't have time to think about it, there's so much going on. And I think that's how, to keep it moving. I think for me personally, since I've had my daughters, that has been a real focus pillar, because I don't have time or the energy to devote to the fact that I haven't booked something. If I haven't booked it, okay, that's one less thing I've got to worry about. Washing is sitting in the machine, and I've got to hang it down. And who's eating what? What are we having for dinner? You're gluten free, and it's like, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. Yeah. There is very real pressing issues. Like, gotta change the bed sheets, like, you're potty training, and it's like there are so many other real things happening that if I'm not being asked to work on a role or a character, that's where my energy is. That's where my focus is. And it's about keeping these three wonderful people alive and well. And it's wonderful because I get to see in real time the fruits of my labor. No pun intended. But you get to see, you get to witness and bear witness to someone's growth, to someone's development, to someone's varying milestones. And that is so hugely rewarding. And as I said, so grounding, and it's real, and it's love. And the jobs, they will come and go. The gigs, they come and go. The directors, they come and go. Trends come and go. So we're focusing on feminist films right now. We're focusing on Black Square films right now. And I'm focusing on what's ever present. And that's me and mine, my family. And so when the job comes in, like, I've got to do a tape tonight, and I'm like, how do I do this and put the girls to bed? You get it done. You get it done by hook or by crook, but then you just leave it. And if you get to do it, cool, because I'm trying to navigate school dinners next week or whatever it may be. And so since having the kids in particular, that's really sort of restored my sense of self and self-worth that's not attached to the fleeting. And I don't know. You understand what I mean?
Totally, yeah. We love what we do, but we aren't what we do. And, when our time comes, I don't think I'm going to be regretting the job that I didn't do. It would be more about, the love and the people that I want to spend time with, and,
Well,
and those beautiful moments.
What is your gravestone going to say? A couple of feature films that she self-produced and was a supporting actress here, then wherever, or is it going to say, loving mum, loving wife, loving sister?
Yeah.
Like, that's what, when it comes down to it, that's what matters.
Yes.
So let's put ourselves into what matters and take the job, because that's what it is, as they go.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
if
that.
If you need to cry, have a good cry, because it's important.
Yeah, it is. Oh. I knew this would happen. No, it's pretty crying. It's very pretty crying.
Of course.
There's no snot. Yeah.
Not the ugly one.
Yeah, exactly.
I find my kid grab me as well, like, a lot of the time. And I realize, like you said, when you're just minding your own business and it's just like one thing comes, then suddenly everything is all happening at once. And then you're just gone most of the time. And, my daughter's all right with it, because she's gotten used to, because I was working from home from lockdown as well. Right, so she's used to me always doing something. Right. So now when I had to leave, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going away for a bit. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll see you later. But it's my son who's just attached. Like,
oh, baby.
And so when I hit in, he doesn't let go. He just stepped up, 2020 lockdown. He's basically, I'm all he's ever known, in a way.
Of course.
Like, he used to cry when people take their masks off, when people started taking their masks off, because he was used
to
really?
I totally get it, because
my gosh.
It takes a while to warm up to people, because they're not familiar. That's not, at least the first year, that wasn't something that they were familiar with or got used to.
Yeah. So I do tapes as well after they've gone to bed, and then it's like, all right, let's do it.
But they wake up and you're just like, oh, in the middle of a take, you're like, you thought you have it, and then you hear it, and you're like, oh.
It's like, you're in the moment. You're like, oh, that's the best take. All right, cool. That's it. And then you go back and you're like, you just hear it. I think I've sent a few tapes because I can't do it again. There's no time to do it again.
This is it. I don't exactly. When you were talking about like how do we do it? Even with tapes now. Before, I'd have the time. I'd have the luxury, darling, of doing multiple takes and angles and having everything just so, and having the days before to read and now I have a slither. I have like 70 seconds to get it all done. And if it's not done, then when you've seen it, it's not being uploaded. Tag me in, tag me out, because it's not happening. It's just not. And it's exactly that. Like before mum and after mum, and how we're trying to do it. It's exactly what you said. We don't have it. The luxuries have gone.
Yeah, honestly,
it's funny because even I identify with that in terms of beginning in the olden days where self-tapes we used to go in, and so self-tapes weren't so frequent. Yeah, you would labor, you would take days, you would take the time. Now it's like, okay, I've got 5 self-tapes this, in the next, they've given me 20 hours notice for that one. You don't. You're just like, nah, I'm not. I'm just
got the time.
Yeah.
One and done.
Yeah. And when they're like, oh, do 2 takes, I want to see 1 take. I'm like, why? Just, you gotta know the minute you see it.
This is it. In the full length, I'm like, you're not even
gonna watch the whole thing.
I'm not precious about it.
You're in the moment, you do it, boom, get done. I
actually think it's better as well, because they sense there's no neediness there. So they're like, okay, cool.
Except for the jobs that, like they come in and they say, oh yes, it's 3 weeks filming in Aruba. And I'm like, please.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, I know. I know. Filming in Mexico. Those jobs.
Yeah, it's been always painful. I had one where I was heavy pencil.
Oh yeah.
And it's like the day before. I'm like, I'm definitely going to be flying out. Yes, I'm excited. Exactly.
I'm still on pencil for things from years ago.
I haven't even. This is it. They ain't called me to tell me I'm off pencil yet. I'm holding on. They're gonna call me.
Yeah.
My passport's ready. My bag is packed.
I have 6 months left.
Oh yeah, like your agent's like, here's the direct number. That cast has got the production. You got the direct details. Weigh in.
That's it. And it doesn't happen.
Crickets. Yeah,
it doesn't happen.
So, Kyla Frye,
if
you were to go back in time as you now and have a little chat with 5-year-old you, what would you say? What would you say to her?
You'll be okay. It'll be all right, and you'll be okay. It will all work out.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's cute. I can see it. As well. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I can see 5-year-old Kyla.
You told the 5-year-old me that I'll be on, a feature film poster up there with Simon Keller and your mate that you thought was really cool at writing. I don't know, and you'd have your premiere in the movie theatre that your grandparents went to, however many tens of years ago, and then like you would be married to some boy that you met at drama school, and you think you'll be together for going on 20 years, and you'll have 3 kids. And like, if you told the 5-year-old me that, I'd be like, that's gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
the fact that I'm living that.
Yeah.
I said to my husband and we said a couple of times, I think towards the back end of last year, that we really are living the life of our dreams. Like, and it's very easy to get caught up on the next job, the next thing, the jobs or the auditions that you didn't get, or trying to pay rent, mortgage, or the kids. It's very easy to get caught up in all those sort of things. But when you stop to think about the things that you used to pray for, the things you used to hope for, the things you used to strive and aspire to have or to be, and then you're like, hold on a minute. Like, are we not working, on TV and in film and on Western stage? Are we not still happily married and still together and still very much in love? Do we not have 3 beautiful children that are just incredible and blowing our minds? Do we not have a roof over our head and food in our bellies? Are we not able to get in the car and go to wherever it is that we need to go to? Do we not have our family and our friends and cool people that we can be inspired by, like Pauline and Belinda? Like, are we not able to do any of these things because ultimately we are, and therefore everything that we hoped for, everything that we prayed for, we are doing. So everything else now is a bonus.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
well said.
definitely worth celebrating that. Yeah, exactly. I want to clap.
Yeah, I'm just
yes.
It felt like a clapping moment. In terms of things that you're doing now or inspired you in the past, like a book, a film, a TV show, even theatre, if you've been going to the theatre, if you've had time to go to the theatre, but anything you'd recommend.
So a piece of art that I am inspired by.
Or that you'd recommend.
That's tough because like there are so many things, right? Like I like a lot of things and I'm very easily pleased. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. You find yourself going, is it, the latest Disney Pixar Elemental that I'm really sort of touched by and really think you should all see it? It's about a love story and they come together with two different cultures and they make it happen and all that sort of stuff. Or is it a self-promotional, The Payday, watch it now, because you could be inspired by that or motivated by that, and I don't know. That's the gospel truth.
See, that's the joy of it. You see, that's something.
Okay,
yeah,
totally.
So definitely,
yeah, I'm gonna watch
Payday.
Elemental now.
Yeah, watch Elemental
because I've seen Payday.
Yeah, of course you've seen The Payday. If you ever want to see
I mean,
again.
I could watch it again. Yeah, it is very watchable. It's very enjoyable.
Yeah, it's an easy Netflix and chill movie. That's what I think. It's got a little bit of action, got a little bit of romance, got some jokes. Some kind of serious social commentary on occasion as well. But I don't know. Watch The Payday. Watch that.
Yeah.
Watch The Payday.
Amazon, Sky, Google, Freevee, Stars.
So I got to watch it. So Payday! Oh, thank you, Kyla. It was so good to have you on the show.
I'm really, really grateful, and I'm so proud of you two as well, because it's conversations that we rarely kind of get to hear, and especially amongst Black women in particular. Yeah. I think it's wonderful that you've created a safe space for sharing our stories and our journeys and the sisterhood that can be formed in this setting as well. It's hugely important. So thank you both. I'm so incredibly proud of you. I'm so excited to see what comes for you in the next year and beyond. And man, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna cut that and put it as an advert on our phone. I like that. No, honestly, appreciate it, and we're also looking forward to having you back. Let us know when these things are coming up and happening.
You get the exclusive. Yo.
We're gonna hold her to it, exclusive. No, honestly, we're also proud. We're really, really proud seeing you doing your thing, man.
So proud, yeah. I'm excited to see what else Kyla Frye is gonna gift the world.
Honestly, yeah. Oh, please don't feel pressure. Just know whatever it is you do, keep on doing it, because we're loving it. We're
totally.
Thank you so much.
I mean, even in this podcast, there are bits that I can imagine. Just if I'm having a flat morning, I'll be like, let me just play some Kyla Frye words, and then suddenly I'll feel like, oh yeah, motivated, energized.
Have a cry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a nice. Yeah,
we need it, man. There's no shame in it. It's okay not to be okay. It really is. It really is.
Oh yeah, see, we didn't even talk about film on mental health, but oh well, there's just too much to cover.
There is a lot.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
It's okay not to be okay, and you will be okay. Trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
We'll have you back now. So that's it. We'll have you back, because we always say there's not enough time in the world to have there's
never enough time, especially with the kindred spirits and amazing people. We could be talking all night. So
for real, yeah.
That was the wonderful Kyla Frye. Oh, she's so amazing. She's just
a star. She's beautiful. She's in every way.
Yeah, I love talking to her. It's good.
So great.
That interview. Thank you, Kyla.
Thank you, Kyla. And thank you to our wonderful listeners for tuning in. And we will be back very soon.
Yeah.
Possibly with another special guest, or possibly not. Possibly with a bit of a story for you. You'll just have to tune in to find out. Have a fantastic couple of weeks, and we'll catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye.